Hi everyone, it's Vic. Thanks for joining me today, and today I'm sharing a very sweet autumn card. I'm going to be using these Mummy Lhey Gather Together stamps today, and I'm doing a slimline card, so this is just a DL card that I've trimmed down, and then I've also trimmed down a piece of white card that I'm going to be ink blending onto. So as I'm making a scene card, I've got these landscape edge dies, which are Time for Tea designs, and I'm going to be die cutting the grass pieces. So as this card is a long card, I'm just going to quickly show you how I place my dies in my die cutting machine. So I've run them through once, and then I'm just joining up the edges to make a long piece. And now I'm just placing this onto my card and then trimming off the extra bits that are hanging over the edge. And now I've got my distress ink, so I'm just going over this with my Time for Tea Designs blender brush, and I'm just applying the bundled sage ink to both pieces, and then I'm just going over the top with some crushed olive. And now I'm just working on my card panel, so I've got some scattered straw, and then I've got some spice marmalade just to darken up the edges. And I'll be ink blending this to the top and the bottom of the card, and then I'm just going in with like a light brown colour just to give it a nice autumn feel. And when that's done, I'm just going to place that aside and get to work on my Copic colouring. So I've listed all the Copic colours on screen just in case you wanted to use the same colours. I'll also list them down below in the description box. So the stamps that I'm colouring are printed digital stamps, and they're from Mummy Lhey, so I'll leave her store linked down below. And these images were so fun to colour. I love anything cute, and I'm really into an autumn feel at the minute as we're coming into autumn. So this is why this card has lots of browns and oranges, and we've got the pumpkins and leaves. And all the bear images were coloured using the same Copic markers. That's why I'm not going to show every single step of the colouring, because the video would be far too long. And even though all the images are just adorable, I think my favourite has to be that bear holding the leaf. I've also used a white gel pen after my colouring's done, just to add some highlights to the cheeks. And the colouring's nearly done. I'm just going to quickly go ahead and show you the colours I used to colour in the pumpkins. So once I've finished doing the Copic colouring, I'll just go ahead afterwards and I'll use my scissors to fussy cut the images out, and it didn't take too long, to be fair. And now I'm going to be adding some trees to my background. So I've got this Flora and Fauna Woodland stamp set, and I've used 2 lots of Distress Oxide ink. I've just mixed them together and stamped them over the stamp. So I'm just stamping the trees out. And then before I do anything else, I'm just going to quickly go ahead and adhere that panel down onto my card base. So I just used double-sided tape for that, but you can use PVA glue if you wanted to. And now I'm just adhering the grass pieces. So the first piece I used double-sided tape, and then the second piece has foam pads underneath just to give it a bit more added dimension. And I'm just going ahead and working on my greeting. I have these Avery Elle stamps, so the stamp was too long to fit across my card. So I've just got a pair of scissors, and all I'm doing here is I'm just being careful and cutting the stamp into 3 parts so that when I stamp it, the sentiment will fit on the card. And now I've just got some brown card, and I'm just preparing it for heat embossing. So now I've got my Versamark ink, I'm just inking up my stamp, and then I've got some Wow embossing powder, so I'm sprinkling that over the top of the sentiment, and then I'll go ahead and heat set this with my heat gun, and then I will trim the sentiment down and adhere it to my card. And now I'm just adhering all the other images, and I've used some foam pads for the images, and then with the leaves and pumpkins I've just got some PVA glue, and I'm just pressing that onto the card. And there we have our finished autumn card. I really enjoyed making this video today. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.